We've all heard about Steven Gerrard, Paul Scholes, and David Silva, who have all conquered the Premier League for years. But who's the best midfielder the Premier League's ever seen? Kevin De Bruyne has provided over 100 assists in the Premier League, which is ridiculously faster than anyone else in the league's history. He's been consistently world-class for Manchester City the last 8 seasons. He's won 4 Premier League titles and 2 Player of the Season awards, but he's failed to win the Champions League. Will Kevin De Bruyne secure Manchester City's first Champions League trophy? Is he the best midfielder the Premier League's ever seen? Kevin De Bruyne was born on the 28th of June 1991 to Herwig De Bruyne and Anna De Bruyne in Drongen, a part of the city of Ghent, Belgium. Early on, De Bruyne was seen as a gifted and special child, one who was destined to be great in life. He spent his earliest days of his childhood visiting Ealing in England, where Anna's family resided. Most holidays were spent in Burundi and Ivory Coast in Africa, where his grandfather was a big oil investor. De Bruyne started playing football at the age of 4 for KVV Drongen. He had a great start to the game, being called the future of Belgian football. His hard work and dedication at his youth club brought a lot of success, which turned into media attention. During this period, Belgium didn't do well in football, which made Kevin shine even brighter. The country needed a football revolution. Kevin De Bruyne was facing the media all the time as a young player, both before and after matches. This followed by interest from scouts in the Belgian youth football system. He progressed fast and became one of the favorite youth footballers. In 1997, the 6-year-old transferred from KVV Drongen to Ghent, where he played for 4 years before moving to Genk to play for KRC Genk's academy. This was the time De Bruyne learned how to be independent. While he was there, he made friends, while his family was home caring for him. He wasn't paid much, but managed what he had. Managing myself is something my parents taught me. I'm not somebody who spends a lot of money in my life. I kept it for later when I want to do something. For vacations, because we don't have a lot of time off. During the season, I'm at home. I cook myself good food. I'm happy. I've lived alone from the age of 14. He played for the youth team for 3 years, before joining Genk's senior team in 2008. The Genk seniors didn't think much of the 17-year-old when he joined them for his first training, but once they stepped out on the training field, he was hard to ignore. De Bruyne criticized and yelled instructions to the other senior players. The Genk players was stunned, as it was only a casual 5-a-side with nothing at stake. This didn't matter to Kevin De Bruyne, because he always wanted perfection, and he didn't care who he had to show that to get it. It was a shock, because this kid was moaning at us, telling us we weren't playing well and demanding we did what he told us. But do you know what? We actually respected him for it. He was right, and we admired that he had the confidence to ask for better. The feeling was, come on, let's not let down the young guy. I can still see that same kid from years ago. But now De Bruyne is moaning at David Silva and Sergio Aguero. He just always wants to get the best from others, explains former Genk captain David Hubert. In 2012, De Bruyne left Genk for Giants Chelsea before getting loaned back to Genk one day after the signing. When he came back from loan, Chelsea loaned him out again just 2 months after his arrival to Werder Bremen. De Bruyne played there the whole 2012-2013 season. He only stayed at Chelsea half a year before De Bruyne decided he didn't want to play there anymore, because of lack of opportunities. Mourinho let him go, and Wolfsburg bought for €22 million. This was where his career went from good to amazing. In the span of 2 seasons, 2013 and 2014 and 2014 and 2015, De Bruyne managed to score 20 goals and provide 23 assists in only 73 games. And Wolfsburg also won the German Cup in that time. This was a kick in the face for Mourinho. And the 24-year-old joined Manchester City in a deal worth €76 million. Kevin De Bruyne has been the most important player for Manchester City since his arrival. The now 31-year-old won 4 Premier League titles, 1 FA Cup, and 5 League Cups. He's a leader, maybe the best playmaker in the world, and just a complete player all around. In the span of 8 seasons at the club, he's managed to score 88 goals, provided 138 assists in 282 games, which is close to 1 goal contribution per game for 8 seasons straight. Guardiola said this after a 4-0 win against Bournemouth in 2016. Messi's on the table on his own. No one else is allowed, but the table beside, Kevin can sit there. He's also been excellent in the national team, but unfortunately there haven't been any trophies there yet. Kevin De Bruyne reached 100 assists in the Premier League in only 237 games. That's 322 fewer games than Frank Lampard. Steven Gerrard and Paul Scholes never reached this milestone. Will Kevin De Bruyne and Manchester City win the Champions League? Will he be called the best midfielder the Premier League's ever seen? It's safe to say he's on his way, but as always, time will tell.